Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Mimi Rose and I am Mimi. In today's topic, we're going to be discussing childhood traumas and why is it so important? Why do we need to actually look into it? Don't just bypass it. So, my take on childhood trauma. Everybody experiences something within their childhood. Everybody has good out of their childhood, not so good. Some people have it worse than others because everybody goes through something. But when it comes to childhood trauma and bringing that into your adulthood, especially if you had a rough childhood, it definitely is important for you to seek therapy. I mentioned that in my last video, going towards single mothers, but this is like for everybody. Childhood trauma can really affect the span of your life if you don't seek treatment, if you don't heal and release it, because as a child is where you're building your character, you're building your morals, you're building your view on life, you're building you as a being. So if you experience some things as a child, it is very important for you to heal and for you to seek therapy. Because if you bring that pain into your adulthood, you're going to be causing a lot of people around you that you encounter pain and hurt. Say if you were not raised with a father in the household, that is a lack that a lot of people experience, and it does affect people more than they think it does or not. For example, when it comes to a woman, if she's raised in a household without the father, more than 9 times out of 10, she may not understand her worth because she's not raised with a father. She doesn't understand how a man should treat her, and then she goes to seek love out in the world from people who don't really care about her, people who don't understand her worth, people who are going to misuse her. That's an example for a woman who wasn't raised with a father in the household. On the man's side, if a man is raised in a household without a father, 9 times out of 10, he doesn't know how to treat a woman because he never experienced somebody witnessing a man treat his mother. In some cases, the mother gets remarried and has a boyfriend, and okay, sometimes that works out. But the majority don't know how to treat a woman. They don't know how to treat a woman. They don't know how to talk to a woman. They don't know how to fix things. Like, say as if like you have an argument, you don't know how to go about certain situations. And then also, if a man isn't raised with the father, they're lacking the understanding on how to maybe treat their children, how to interact with their children, because they're lacking something on the inside. Childhood trauma is it can cause a lot of damage to a person's soul. And like I said, a lot of kids do go through things which is not their fault because they are the child and that's the situation they were placed in. And a lot of people get stuck there mentally. A lot of people get stuck in the trauma that they experienced as a child, and that really it scarred them. It really scarred them for life, basically, especially if they don't want to take the accountability to fix it. And it's kind of sad because the majority of them stay in like in a victim mentality, because such and such happened to them as a child, such and such did this to them as a child, and they stay there. Their mindset stays there. They have like a stunted growth. They can be 30, 40, 50, but mentally be 10 years old because they're stuck at that age that basically their innocence was taken from them. It really is a sad situation because that causes generational curses, because the trauma that you experience, you're putting that in your children, and now your children has to go seek therapy because they had a messed up childhood because of what you experienced. But as an adult, once you realize that, okay, something's not right, I'm not doing something right, I keep having these failed situations, these failed relationships, failed marriages, failed friendships, like I'm the common denominator in all of these situations, I should probably go seek help. Everybody keeps telling me the same thing. I keep hearing the same thing from everybody. It's best for you to just go seek therapy, to work on you, to work on your inner being. It's somebody who's running from accountability, they hide under people. They hide under relationships. They jump into things quick so they don't have to deal with themselves. They don't have to be accountable for themselves. They just, okay, this situation didn't work out. Okay, 2 weeks later, I'm in another situation. 5 months later, I'm married. They just move quick. They move so quick because they can't stand to be alone. They can't stand to meet their true self, if that makes sense. They can't stand to meet their true self and face themselves. But you can only run for so long. You can only run for so long. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with yourself. You have to deal with your issues. You have to deal with your flaws, because you're going to continuously having failed situations. So unless you're going to stick with that for the rest of your life, and each situation is going to bring you more and more into a depression, because it's going to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm pretty sure they have, like, even if it's for a split second, dang, something's wrong with me. Dang, I should have never did that. But they'll never open their mouth to say that. Going back to the childhood, the children that have the stunted growth, that experienced a lot in childhood, have a lot of resentment from childhood, a lot of them turn into narcissists. Narcissists are people who, like I said, would never take accountability for their actions. Everybody else but them is the problem. If they do something to you, it's because their excuse would be, oh, I did this because you did this to me. And in your mind, you know, you didn't do anything, or that's not how that situation went. That's gaslighting. That's like a number one tactic from narcissism, gaslighting. And then the love bombing, when they're moving too quick. They get out of one situation and they move so quickly into another. That is love bombing. But yeah, going back to the original topic, it's important for you to heal. It's important for you to heal, seek God, seek therapy, so you can get over your traumas and you're not going around hurting other people and causing damaged situations, damaged families, broken families. Sorry guys, I'm a little raspy. I don't know. Yeah. It is very important for people to heal and not stay stuck on their trauma, because hurt people, and that is, I know it's said a lot, but like it is true. When somebody is hurt and they're not healing that hurt, you bleed onto other people. Even if you don't try to, even if you try to push your childhood and push all the trauma way to the back and try to become a new person and say you're going to become a new person, it's still going to come out. It's going to come out in arguments. It's going to come out in disagreements, because say you're having an argument with somebody and they feel one way, you feel one way. Your mind, the child you that you did not get rid of, the child you is going to come up. The child you is going to feel rejection from that person, or resentment for that person, or, oh, why are you talking to me like that? Because you're triggered from when your mama used to cuss you out when you was a child. A person's not even cussing you out. It's just you don't like, I don't know, you don't like being told what to do, or you don't like us being accountable for your actions. If they let you know, hey, you was wrong for this, you was wrong for that. Oh, no, I wasn't, blah, 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 blah. Like just going off because you're triggered because whoever did you wrong in your childhood. Did you need to go through that? No. As a child, you should be protected in every way. Did you need to go through roller coasters of whatever? Did you deserve that? No, because as a child, you should be protected in every way, and you should be happy and in bliss as a child. But you cannot blame the world for your situations. You cannot blame the world for what you went through. Do we have empathy, sympathy for you? Yeah, of course. But that's not a reason for somebody to stick around and allow you to misuse and abuse them. You need to seek help. If you're trying, okay, somebody could work with you on that if you're trying. But if you don't see anything wrong with it, and every situation is, oh, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, like real childish, because mentally they're 10 years old, it's not fair for you to stick around for situations where somebody is not taking accountability for their action. Holding on to trauma is a big burden. It's like a weight on your spirit. You feel very heavy. You feel, majority of the times, depressed. Even if you may recognize that you're depressed or not, it brings on a depression. It brings on a sadness. It brings on, like, it shapes how you are as an adult. It shapes your view on life. It, for a negative, because traumas are bad. Traumas are negative things that we encountered in our life. And that's another example as to why you should let it go, because you're not really living a good quality of adulthood, because you're holding on to this view, you're holding on to hurt, you're holding on to pain. It affects how you treat people, it affects how you speak to people, it affects how you receive people coming to you, because now you may have trust issues. For you and the sake of the people that you encounter, it's best that you go seek help. It's best that you seek help. It's best that you seek therapy. You heal from the traumas. Talk it out. Bring it out, because you're just holding on to it. And trauma causes illness. I don't know if y'all know that, but trauma causes illness. That's when people get arthritis. That's when people get sicknesses, diabetes, cancer, because you're holding on to something in your spirit and you need to release it. You need to release it. When you release that stuff, you become lighter, you become happier. You're, not to say you'll ever forget about it, but it's not weighing down on you like it just happened. 9 times out of 10, people who experience like major trauma as a child, they're holding on to it and they walk with it in their daily lives. They walk with it in their daily lives, and it does take a toll on your body, mentally, physically, and emotionally. It does take a toll on your body, and it's something that needs to be released. Say if the person who did you wrong as a child is still in your life. It could be your parent, it could be your mother, it could be your father, somebody who you feel as though just didn't treat you how you should be treated, someone who you feel as though caused you trauma, made you feel some type of way. Say they used to call you stupid as a child, or your parents used to beat on you, or there's a lot of situations that cause people to have trauma from their childhood. But if the person is still in your life and you haven't healed from that trauma, you're more than likely having resentment towards that person. You're holding on to it, and that's how you interact with them. You're distant from them, or you get snappy like really quick, like you're very argumentative, but you're not speaking on it. You're not working on it. That's not a way to live. That's not a way to live. That's not a way to continue on with life. Like, and just for you to be to be free. Just for you to be free, you need to let it go. You need to forgive them. Not saying that whatever they did was right. Not saying that whatever they did was justified. You have every reason to feel the way that you feel, because your feelings are valid. Guys, I do not know what's happening. Your feelings are valid. How you feel is valid, because that's how you felt in that moment. Can't nobody tell you, oh, you don't need to feel that way. Oh, no, that's not what happened, or that's not a reason for you to feel that way. If you, in your spirit, your heart, feel wrong and feel as though somebody did you wrong, you have every right to have your feelings. Your feelings are valid. But for the sake of you, not for them, you need to heal. You need to let go. You need to forgive. And to forgive doesn't really mean, okay, we're going to be the best of friends. Okay, things are going to go back how it used to. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not. Because they are who they are. They did whatever they did. You experienced whatever you experienced. But for you to be free, for you not to have that weight, for you not to have that burden, for you not to be depressed, for you not to hold anger, for you not to get sick, because holding on to that can make you sick. It may not be now, but later down the line when you're 50, 60, and you can't even move, maybe even 40. 40-year-olds be having experiences like they're 70, because they're holding on to anger, they're holding on to pain, they're holding on to bitterness. That stuff makes you sick. So for you to avoid all that, you need to heal. You need to forgive. Forgiveness would be the root of you healing. Even if you got to write it down, you don't even have to talk to that person. Just write everything down. Write everything down. Write what they did to you. Like, write a letter to them. Hey, this is what you did. Hey, this is what I experienced. Hey, this is how I felt. Hey, this is how this affected me. Write a letter to them. Burn it. Release it. Pray to God. If you believe, pray to God. Ask God to help you forgive. Forgiveness is definitely not something easy. It's definitely not easy, because when you're working on forgiveness, you feel as though, oh, I'm doing this, but they're just getting away with whatever. Or if I forgive them, that means that they were right for doing this to me. No, they weren't. They weren't right. They were wrong for doing that. And God will handle them. Just let it go. God will handle them. God says vengeance is mine. There's nothing that you could do that is going to outweigh what God got for them. God sees everything. He sees everything. So forgive them, because God gives us grace. God gives us grace, and God forgives us for our wrongs. So when you're holding on to anger for somebody, for something that they did, you're letting God know that, you're letting him know that, because basically, if he's forgiven you for your faults, he forgives us every day. We sin every day. We cross God every day. So if he continuously gives us grace and forgives us, how better are you than God? God forgives. He forgives. So for you to hold on to whatever somebody did, you just gotta let it go. It's easier said than done, but you have to actively work on it. At least have the intentions on working on it. Put in the effort to work on it, so you can eventually get it off your chest. Like I said, you don't have to build a relationship with the person. You don't have to be the best friends with the person. Just heal and let go. Because hurt people, and that is something so simple, but it's real. Hurt people. When people are experiencing trauma, when people are hurting inside, and a lot of us are hurting inside. A lot of us are really hurting inside. It may look as if people have it all together, all nice cars, nice clothes, haircut, hair done. People are hurting inside. People are really hurting inside. They're holding on to a lot of trauma that they have experienced, and they hurt on people who had nothing to even do with their situation. They bleed on them. They hurt on them. They're snapping on them. They're mistreating them. And that's how a lot of abusive relationships are initiated, because the person is hurt. The person has trauma from childhood. The person experienced whatever, and they're messed up in their mind. In situations like that, if you know that you have problems, if you know you have healing to do, if you know that work needs to be done on you, you have no business being in a relationship. You have no business making a family. You have no business being around people. You need to isolate yourself and work on you. Moving from situation to situation is not going to solve the problem. Moving from situation to situation, or trying to mask it with taking trips or splurging, going shopping all the time, buying cars, buying shoes, doing all this superficial stuff to cover it, it's not going to solve it. That pain is still going to be there. Yeah, you're going to have, say, $1 million in your bank account, but you're still depressed. You still cry at night. You're still angry with the world, because you're not free within your spirit. I'll take peace over money any day. Yes, money can buy you things. Money can give you a nice lifestyle. But peace, I'll take peace over that any day. There's a verse in the Bible. I know I'm gonna I don't want to misquote it, but it's like, I did this in the last video. I know it. It is, what should a man profit? Like, basically, what does a man profit for profiting the world, but he loses his soul? I'll put the verse there so you can read it. What it really is in the Bible. But basically, what does a man profit if he gets the world but loses his soul? Yeah, you're famous. Yeah, people know you. Yeah, you're in a relationship. Yeah, you got a big house, a nice car, you fresh from head to toe. But your soul, your spirit is toxic. Your spirit is dead. It's it's dead. You don't have any morals about yourself. You cross everybody that you meet. What's the point of that? And you're not, when you die, you're not getting any of that. None of that is coming with you. You just did it for the people of this world. And you're not even, this world is temporary. This world is temporary. When we go to the next life, the real life, what is your spirit going to be like? Because that's what you go with to the next life. Your spirit, your soul. You don't go with the shoes. You don't go with the Jordans. You don't go with the Nikes. You don't go with the Balenciagas. Like, none of that comes with you. You're doing that for show for the people of this world. What is any of that if your soul is toxic? If nobody can stand to be around you? Nobody can stand to be around you. Nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with you. Your relationships don't last. Your kids don't want to be around you. This is why it's important to heal. I probably went a little too deep, but these are the type of topics that I want to talk about on this channel because it's real life stuff that nobody's really talking about. Nobody's really talking about these topics. Nobody's really discussing stuff like this, stuff that people really need to hear. That's what Mimi Speaks is going to be about. Topics that are not really discussed, that need to be discussed. But I know I said a lot that you guys should really ponder on. If you're in these categories of somebody who experienced trauma, has been hurt, somebody who knows and realizes, okay, my situations don't last. People do say such and such about me. More than one person does say such and such about me. A lot of people say the same thing about me. But take that with a grain of salt. Like, people are going to talk, but if you know what they're saying is true, you know something is wrong. Take the initiative to heal yourself. Take the initiative to isolate yourself and move away from people. Get out of relationships. Isolate yourself from your friends. Work on you. Because what is it going to benefit you to be around people, but inside, like, you're literally dying. You need to take the time and work on yourself. You know you're wrong. You know you have an attitude. You know that you're angry. You're an angry person. Like, you're giving bitterness. You need to work on yourself. You need to put in the work and work on yourself. Take that time to work on you, build your character, get to know you. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of people don't know themselves. A lot of people don't know their worth. A lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of people don't know who they are. You got to take that time for yourself. Yeah, we all want somebody. Yeah, we want to be around people. We want friends. We want relationships. But what good is that relationship or that friendship if you are damaged? You are damaged. You're not going to receive the friendship. You're not going to receive the relationship how you're supposed to because you're damaged. It's like getting into a relationship too soon. You knew you wasn't ready to get in that relationship. You knew you had a lot going on. You wasn't going to be able to give your all to that relationship. You wasn't going to give 110% to that relationship. You wasn't going to try. You wasn't going to try for the long run. You're easy to quit. You're not going to give your all to a situation if you're damaged. You can't give your all. You can't. There's no way. So seek help. Seek therapy. Take some time for yourself. Work on yourself. Heal yourself. Work on forgiving. Write that letter. Or if you're bold enough and you feel like it's going to go well, talk to them. And if they're going to receive it well, because a lot of people are narcissists or have narcissistic traits where they feel like they're right. They feel like nothing they do is wrong, or they feel justified because they're saying you did something to them. If you're bold enough and if you are able to have that conversation with them, have that conversation with them. If not, write it out. Write your feelings out. Journal. Write how you feel. Write how did certain situations make you feel. Pray. Watch sermons on forgiveness. Learn how to forgive. Like, feed your spirit with stuff regarding forgiveness. Even when you're watching this video, you're not going to be ready to forgive right now. It takes time. You have to, whatever you set your mind on is what's gonna grow. Whatever you feed is gonna grow. So watch videos on it, read up on it, read verses in the Bible. If I can find some verses, I'll put some verses right here, so you guys can read on forgiveness when it comes to the Bible. And this is something that I'm working on. I'm not saying this like because I'm perfect. I'm definitely working on forgiveness. Every like over time it gets better. Over time, I'm growing more and more. Forgiveness is not an overnight process because you've been holding on to the hurt for so long, and when you hold on to that hurt, it literally shapes your mind, it shapes your view. So it's like it has become a part of you. So to forgive somebody it's a change. Change doesn't happen overnight. Long lasting change, like for longevity, does not happen overnight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys took something out of this. This is a serious topic that people really need to get to thinking about. Share this with a friend if you feel like somebody can benefit off of this video. Share it with a friend. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on this topic? Any experiences that you want to share, you can comment down below. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video of Mimi Speaks. Bye guys.